Hey guys, it's LaGravy, and this is my first video. And with this first video, I hope to start off a series of videos branching off from this game, which is which is Chivalry, Medieval Warfare. And basically, this is my new channel. I have a separate channel, and I just wanted to start a 100% gaming channel and hopefully get some subscribers and some views with this video. So this is going to be a review video of this game, Chivalry, Medieval Warfare, and I hope to make this review as clear as possible and reasons why you should or shouldn't get this game. You'll have to stick around to the end. This is a review, so you're going to have to, there are some main points, there's some positives, there's some negatives. There's all about this game and what I think of it so far after putting around 10 hours into the game. I realize there are people who put, 60 hours into the game already through the beta and all that stuff, but I figured, after 10 hours or so, I should be able to make a solid review on this game. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to go over the game and the price. So the game, as I said, is called Chivalry Medieval Warfare, and it's 25 bucks on Steam. Now that is really good deal, considering this game is an indie developer. And they got this project off a Kickstarter, and basically they raised 80K, and they were able to make a game with it. And this game ended up being very, very nicely made for $80,000 and a few developers and friends. So that's already a plus. But here's the real positives to the game, though. So the first one I want to go over is the main backbone of the game, and that's the melee system. The melee system is, if you're familiar with Mount and Blade, it's almost identical. The blocks are directional, the attacks are directional. You can duck under attacks, you can jump over attacks depending on which way they're coming. You can dodge out of the way, you can swing left, you can swing right, you can overhead swing, you can thrust the spear, or your sword, or whatever you have forward into the enemy. And it's just gruesome when that happens. And that's part of the game that shines the most, is the combat system and how it works. So that's a very, very positive thing in this game, is the melee system. And without that melee system, this game would be nothing but, a War of the Roses branch off. And don't get me wrong, I mean, War of the Roses was a good attempt. They had all the right ideas, but it was just, I don't know. To me, the combat system in that game was just not fluid at all. So we'll go ahead and get into our next positive without bashing War of the Roses some more. Are the graphics of this game, UDK. UDK is Unreal Development Kit, for anyone who knows, and it is a very, very useful development kit, and they basically use that to build this game from the ground up with only $80,000, which is pretty amazing, considering how much work went into this game and making it perfection and, all that sort of stuff, sound and gameplay and graphics and all that. This game is really, really solid for the Unreal Engine it runs off of. And that's part of the reason why the game is also very good, is the Unreal Development Kit helped these guys create a very, very smooth gameplay and environment that you like to play in. So that's already a plus again. And let's just face it, I mean, look at the graphics of this game. It's pretty nice for a indie developer. I mean, you don't really see this quality coming from an indie developer too often, so I mean, you kind of want to say it's one of the best graphics, but there are some better indie games with better graphics, I believe, but this is a very good game. So next I want to go over the game modes. Right now I'm playing free for all, and just for the fact that it's fast game and it is a very quick kill game, so I didn't want you guys to be sitting and watching me run, for a while. I just wanted you guys to see some head chopping and some double kills with a halberd. So hopefully this gameplay is exciting for you. But on top of game modes there's free for all, there's team deathmatch, there's last man standing, which is a one life game mode, almost like Counter-Strike. It can be compared to. There's a game mode where it's team objective, where you have to raid a village and kill the peasants and all that sort of stuff. There's several maps of that game mode, and I'm pretty sure that's it. There are several branches of the team objective, though. So there's one where you have to dump bodies in a river to poison the water supply. There's one where you have to storm the castle and kill the king. There's other stuff like that, and they're very cool. But just for the purpose of this video, I'm just doing free for all. Later videos, though, I might do some team objective if you guys like this. So the next point I want to get into is the battle cries. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be much, but the battle cries are pretty epic. When you're running in at your enemy, you press X and your guy will scream. And it is pretty intimidating when you see about 3-4 people running at you with swords, screaming and such. So it is a very good mechanic in this game, and it's pretty funny too. So the next point is the price. The price is $25. You can't go wrong with that. 25 bucks for a game that will last you probably, I'd say, around a year of playing, maybe more, depending on how long you played Mountain Blade. Me, I've put over 100 hours into Mountain Blade, so I can say that I'll probably put at least over 50 hours into this game easily. Maybe over 100 if I feel up to it. Any game you get your money's worth out of would be like, I feel any game you get at least 20 hours or more out of is worth your money. I mean, you know, it's 20 hours. Just think of it as going to a movie. I mean, you're paying for that. Why not pay for a game that you can play anytime you want? So that's my way of thinking on this, and I'm pretty sure people will be playing this for a while, depending on how they update it, and which leads me into my next topic is the good developer, Torn Banner Studios. This is their first shot at a real game. Although it is still considered an indie game because they're like, you know, they're just a starting off company, but this is their first shot at a real game. And basically on the forums, if you read their forums, and I'll link their forums in the description, they're basically working on balance updates, map updates, new maps, new game modes, new weapons, new stats, new everything for this game. They're constantly updating this game. I guess you could think of it as a medieval TF2 without the hats, if that's a good comparison. But anyways, the game developer is really working to update this game quite a bit, and that's already a good sign of how devoted they are to this game and how it might turn out in the end. So now that I've gone over all the positives, now it's time to get into the negatives. And there's only 4 of them, believe it or not. Usually that is quite a low number for most games, so think of this as very good for negatives. So my first negative I want to go over is the buggy ragdolls. Sometimes, you may have saw it in this video, there were ragdolls just floating in the air, and that's really annoying sometimes. It'll draw away from the epicness of the battles. Like, you're running in with all your friends, and you know, there's a floating body with no legs in the air, just sitting there like chilling. So that's pretty buggy sometimes, but that's easily fixable with updates. I'm sure that'll be addressed very, very soon, so that you won't have to worry about that too much. But the next thing is disappearing ragdolls. I'm not sure why they did this. Maybe it's on top of performance issues, which leads me into my next topic, but I'll get that in a second. But the ragdolls disappear after a certain amount of time, and I don't really like that. I mean, you know, in the real battle, you're not just going to be sitting there and all of a sudden your friend's dead body's just going to resurrect and disappear. It doesn't seem like it fits the game. Like, overall, this game is very realistic, and then they go and disappearing ragdolls kind of draws away from that realism, but I'm sure that'll be fixed sooner or later, and they'll have an option for the number of corpses on screen or something like that, like Warband almost. But there are some performance drops, as I said. For some reason, on some maps, I get a solid like 70 frames, depending on what's happening, and then on other maps, I get like maybe 45 to 50-ish. So there are some weird tweaks that you have to do. I have a pretty good PC too, so I'm not sure why it drops like that, but well, I'm sure they'll optimize it and such. Alright guys, well, this is about the end of the match, and as you can see, my score 38-13, I think it was. I did pretty good this match, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Maybe subscribe to me if you feel like it. If I did change your mind on this game or cause you to buy, leave a comment, like, do whatever. Just please help me out on this new channel. It's my first shot at doing this, so I'd like to see some feedback. So thanks. See you guys later.